Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Please hit the bell button to get alerts every time I upload new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would make me very happy. Today's video is me doing this eye look with the Pretty Vulgar Pretty Birdie palette. This was limited edition, but it looks like now it is totally not limited edition at Sephora. I think the only place that you can buy it is at Sephora. $35, and you get a really nice mixture of mattes and kind of shimmery, not too metallic and not too, just kind of a nice balance of colors. I will insert some swatches here. I did have some problems with swatching, but all that a finger swatch on your wrist is telling you is how well something swatches on your wrist with your finger. It's not really how it's going to show up on your eyes, and I really like what this did. So I'll insert the swatches. All right, so here's the palette. First color's Lay, Free, Ego, Songbird, ooh, Brilliant. It's not really, okay, more in the second pass. Fancy. More of that. Okay, yeah, that's buildable. Wing It. Okay, yeah, more on the second pass. Needs to be built, but the colors are pretty. Snitch. Building it up a little bit more. Okay. Formation. A little more. Nevermore. Jealous. That's pretty. And Head Bitch. So those are the colors swatched. All right. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, please keep watching. All right, I've already done my face. I have primed my eyes with the Tarte Clean Slate 360 Degree Creaseless Eye Primer just to give it something to adhere to. I always use some kind of a primer so I don't feel like I'm cheating by using a primer on this because it's not a primer with a color. It's just a translucent primer. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go in with Lay, and I'm going to go in with the flat end of the brush that came with the Naked 3 palette. I'm just going to put this all over my eyes just to help me with discoloration. And I did notice this one was, I also have a giant flick of glitter. Man. Oh, glitter. There we go. Am I the only one that happens to, that you just find glitter random places? So when I was swatching it, this showed up, or didn't show up. This was very close to my natural skin tone. So I wasn't sure if it just wasn't pigmented at all or if it was just so close to my natural skin tone. And I do think that it is just very close to my natural skin tone. And actually I'm going to go in with the fluffy side of this brush to lay more down, to lay more down, to lay more of the Lay color down. Ha 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 ha. So clever. I don't know where the glitter comes from. Crafts and whatnot. But it does show up kind of in random places and I'm never clear. All right, enough about the glitter. Okay, so that's good. That kind of neutralized things a bit. Okay, and there are only really two more matte colors that I can use. There's a color in there called Nevermore that's pretty dark. So I think the two that I'll really work with for transition are Formation and Snitch. So I'll first go in with Formation, and this is a Morphe E28. I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to tap this off. And oh, that's pretty. That's a really pretty color. It's a very warm color. This is a very colorful palette. I know that they have other ones. They have one that's darker, like a smoky palette, and another one that's more neutral. I think that the dark one's called Nightingale, and I forget what the other one's called. But that's nice. It's going to blend a little bit more. Okay, and then I'll go in with Snitch. And for that I'll use MAC 217. It's just a more compact brush. So I want to be able to really focus that more in the crease. It's more of a red color. Put it there and put it there, and then I'll blend some more. That's pretty. You can't really tell much. All that you can tell when you're doing finger swatches is how well things swatch with your finger. You can't really tell how well something's going to perform on your eyes. Okay, that's nice. I'm going to bring you in a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the blues and the greens just kind of building out. So I'm going to start with Fancy. And this one didn't seem to have a lot of color payoff when I was swatching it, but we'll see how this looks on my eyes. Again, haven't used any white or, for me, like beigey kind of flesh tone to neutralize anything on my lid to make the color stand out more. So what I'll see here is actually what it looks like on pretty much my naked eye. Yeah, and it is kind of how it was on my arm with the finger swatch. It's pretty, but it's really not very pigmented. I'm gonna tap it off again. I'm glad that I'm not getting a lot of fallout. I'm not getting really any fallout. So I'm gonna put this actually all over. I was going to focus it on, if it was a true highly pigmented metallic, I probably would just put it on the center of my eye. And that's picking up. I can see that it's there, but it's not, it doesn't look like the color in the pan or the color on the brush really even. So I do wonder what this would look like if I put like Nick's Milk down on my eye first. All right. Then I'll go in, use the same brush, and I'm using my Vera Mona color switch. And I'll go in with Jealous. It's the green color. And I'm going to try to just pack that around the outside of the center of my eye. So I'm picking it up and tapping it off, getting more on this with this color on the brush than I did with the other. Don't know if it's going to give me more color payoff or not. I suspect that it will. Yeah, that is truer to what the color is. And I am getting fallout, but that's okay. And the problem is, as I'm kind of covering up, as I'm moving out and I'm kind of covering up the inside, it doesn't look blue. It looks kind of gold. But it's because the blue is so light, it'll be hard for me to go back in and cover up, kind of to brighten it up a little bit. So I'll just see how that works in the end. So same on the other eye. The colors are really pretty. And I do see a distinction between the colors. And sometimes when you're blending colors together, mattes or shimmers, sometimes they all kind of blend into one. But I am seeing really distinct colors happening here. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with Wing It, and I'm going to go in with my small Real Techniques definer brush. I think this is a face definer brush. And what I'm going to try to do with this, and I actually am going to brush away the fallout. Okay, that's good. I have used colors before. Specifically, I'm thinking about the Urban Decay Basquiat Tenant palette, that when I brushed away the colors, it just streaked across my face. So I am getting a tiny amount of fallout with this, but it's not nearly as bad as it was with the Basquiat palette. Basquiat I will always use before I put on face makeup. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Wing It on this little brush, tapping it off, and I'll go in more around the outside. Yeah, and this too. So I guess I'm able to build it up a little bit, but I will say that of the colors that I've used so far, oh, I can't build it up. It's that one in the middle that's just so light. It doesn't even look recognizably blue anymore. And a little more on the other eye. This color, I can't tell. It's not a true matte, but it's not as much of a shimmer as the other ones are. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the color switch and the same brush, the same small definer brush. I wanna see what happens if I lay Free down. Free is kind of a ivory, kind of shimmery color. I'm gonna try to put that in the center of my eyelid and see. Oh, that's pretty. So I still don't have that blue anywhere, but that's fine. Just maybe not the strongest color. And I will try it again with primer, like a colored white kind of neutralizing primer, and also maybe with a mixing medium. Okay, Veramona, color switch. Trying to use as many as I can. Go in with Brilliant. It's kind of a purpley color. I'll do this on the bottom lash line. This I bet would be really pretty because I can see that this is more metallic than the others are. I think this would benefit from using a mixing medium of some sort to kind of amp it up. In fact, just out of curiosity, there's one eye. I am going to put it on the other eye just to see what the difference is. So this eye is by itself, and I'll zoom you in further. So that is my eye just with the eyeshadow. I'll do this eye with MAC Fix Plus with some mixing medium on it and see if there's any difference. Experimentation. Not sure if I can tell that much of a difference actually, but it feels, I'm just so not used to putting eyeshadow under my lid, on my bottom lash line, that I think I always gravitate towards using. A mixing medium just so it adheres better, but actually it looks pretty much the same. I don't think there's any difference between using it with a mixing medium and not. So that's good to know. Back in with the MAC 217, and I'm gonna go in with, actually, I want something smaller. I'm gonna go in with this. This is a Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, and it's just a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna try to hit this on my outer V, just to try to use as many of the colors as I possibly can. And this one is a little matte. Actually, it is matte. It's not a little matte. It is matte. Looks like it's muddying it up a little bit, unfortunately. So I'll go back in with the 217. It's not terrible, but it is a little muddy. So I'm just going to blend. I didn't add any more shadow to this. It's just taking whatever was left. So yeah, that's better blended. This is a really pretty palette. All right, do one more thing. I'm gonna go in with Veramona color switch, and I'm gonna go back in with one last color. I'll go in with Ego, which is very green, not green, very gold, very green, very gold. And I'm gonna go in with that on my inner corner. Pretty. I don't think I'm gonna do liner today. I'll do mascara and lipstick, and then I'll come back and give you some final thoughts and impressions about the palette. I'll be right back. So this is the final look. I added mascara. I used Too Faced Better Than Sex. Didn't use Roller Lash. When I don't have a cat eye on, sometimes I feel like 2 mascaras is a little bit overboard. And I used Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in Stepping Out. And I like this a lot. I will experiment in the future with a white base or with like a neutralizing kind of base to see if I can get the colors to stand out more, and also with the mixing medium, especially with that light blue, to see if I can get the color to be amped up a bit more. But I like this a lot, and it's only $35, and you get a lot of really good colors in here, a decent mixture of mattes and, do I want to call them shimmers? Mattes and shimmery kind of metallics. It's a really usable palette. So I love this, and I'm glad to have shared it with you, and thank you so much for watching, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.